The following show features episodic breakdowns of Jackass, either performed by professionals or under the supervision of professionals. For your safety, avoid listening to this podcast at all times. Hi, I'm Mikey Aaronworth.
I'm Jason Wellwood.
And I'm Chris Aaronworth.
Welcome to Jackass.
Welcome to Jackass. It's the podcast where we're on a path of destruction through every single episode of Jackass.
We're three lifelong fans of the show, reliving the belly laughs, bad ideas, and broken bones.
What are you laughing at, Mikey?
Chris, like every time Jay starts the episode, you're on your phone. Like you can't be bothered to be here.
No, it's because I'm prepping for the notes. I got to get myself ready. I do my notes on my phone.
Like you know what it looks like you
right
are?
before the show starts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
but I thought of
an option.
a really good idea all of a sudden
okay.
to talk about.
Okay,
And
well,
you know what? You're always criticizing me. This is actually a perfect segue into what I was going to say. You're bitching about my camera light. You're bitching about when I drop shit. We've actually had comments from, Instagram people like our friend Michael Schofield, who said, I think when Johnny... Oh, hilarious, but not as hilarious as Chris flinging his phone a few episodes ago. So, as I was saying, a man of the people, as usual, I am getting love for all these things. People they don't want everything so picture perfect like your face, Mikey. They want to have a little bit of, inside baseball, so to speak. So, you keep criticizing me all you want, but you're fucking wrong.
Your face looks like it got hit by a couple baseballs, so maybe that's what they're looking for?
That was the worst joke ever.
It wasn't great.
I want to see the tally on the other side, the anti-Chris phone flipping tally. Like, how many people voted, hey, when Chris dropped his phone, I lost all faith in humanity? Did we get any of those comments?
Zero. So I'm 100%
I feel like
I'm 100% right. Mikey's 100% wrong. So
Is that,
far.
yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like you're filtering
it's a one to
nothing.
It's a 1 to nothing ratio, but still, I'm 100%. Science is science. Facts are facts.
Hey, Chris.
Facts.
Yeah.
Can you tell me? Can you tell me what the date is today, please?
Well, this episode was...
You just turned into a fucking tour guide.
This episode was released on April 25th of the year 2004.
Okay.
And it's funny. This actually isn't a very funny fact because it just goes to show how little progress as a civilization North America, the States, Canada, whatever is made. Because on this date, back in 2004, hundreds of thousands of people marched Washington, D.C. to protest President Bush's anti-abortion policies. So basically, nothing's fucking changed in 20-something years or 18 years. It's
in fact, when it comes to abortion, the change is kind of negative because Roe v. Wade has been called the question, essentially overturned. So you may argue that it's just gotten worse.
Yeah, how are we just fighting over the same shit? There was nothing wrong with anything. I don't know, whatever. I don't want to get into politics on this very much, but it's just sad that almost 2 decades later, there's been no fucking progress at all.
Let me say this, Chris. You know how you bring this up. You're like, nothing's changing. We're not, blah, blah, why are we all so pissed? I don't want to get into it. You know that anger and frustration and that impotent rage that you feel when you talk about that stuff? That's me every time you log into this app for us to record and your camera isn't set up right. Your lighting is completely off.
Who gave me this computer to use? Who gave me this camera to use? Who gave me this microphone to use?
I gave you all of those things and
all
you're
of it,
not
right?
using
so
them
if
right.
You're giving me faulty fucking bogus shit to use, and you're trying to put this on me?
I can also give you a fucking Ferrari, but if you crash it into the side of a tree, it doesn't mean that it's my fault. It means you don't know how to drive the Ferrari.
You should know I'm irresponsible and I can't handle a Ferrari.
Well, I'm learning that the longer that this podcast goes on. Jay,
how are you doing today?
Quite well, thank you.
Yeah, you're just
now that we get our pre-episode, me and Mikey bickering at each other. I'd like to know how your day was, Jay.
You know what? My day's been fantastic. Thank you for asking. You know what? For once, I'm going to turn a new leaf, guys. New leaf. Let's just start the fucking show. No more delays. Okay?
All right.
Sound good? Let's do it. Welcome, everybody, to the Jiggly Wiggly, Jiggly Wiggly, Jiggly Wiggly show. It's Viva La Bam, Season 2, Episode 1. We are back into another season. It feels like just yesterday. I swear to God, guys, that we were doing this. And I realized something the other day that kind of blew my mind a little bit. I'm going to take you guys on a little ride with me. So strap the fuck in. All right. So as of recording,
right into the episode.
Shut your mouth. You know I'm bad at this. Hey, man, you're the one who wanted to open the show on abortion. So whatever.
True.
As of recording,
this is an abortion of an intro, speaking of.
It is, but this is episode 79 of the podcast right now. Just to put this into perspective for you, we started doing Viva La Bam related content when we did our little split with Wild Boys and Viva La Bam back in episode 28.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
shit.
we've come a long fucking way, guys. And in that time, for anybody who's new to the show, we've already covered Jackass season 1, 2, 3, the first movie, the second movie, 2.5, the fucking fourth movie. I just want to say, guys, it's been a fucking ride, and we are getting closer and closer all the time to hitting triple digits here. I just got to say, it's been fun.
It has been fun.
I just wanted to start the show with that. So, there you go.
I like
Time
that.
flies.
I do
welcome.
like that.
And just like time flies in the world of Viva La Bam, tomfoolery last year, we get a little bit of a mon-foolery montage here, and we look at all the things that happened in season 1. And now it's time to move out of the neighborhood. Turns out those eviction notices they got at the end of the last season, maybe they weren't so fake after all. I don't know, but we're moving out of Ape's house. We're going to college. Wait, no. Bam's taking everybody in the house with him, including mom and dad. That's cute.
It is cute.
So that's the setup for this episode. And I got to ask, there is a little bit of an absence in the room. Not in a bad way, though. This is like a good absence because Don Vito's not there. But instead, they've got this cardboard cutout Vito.
Yes.
What's up with that?
I don't know, but I liked it. That was, you know what, we talked about season 1 of Viva La Bam kind of being a little bit of a letdown in a way. It was like, oh, right, okay, I remember what this is about, but it felt like they hadn't quite hit their stride. I was laughing like from scene 1 in this episode. This episode was fucking wild. There was so much going on, maybe too much going on, but it definitely had some laughs, and it started with Don Vito's cardboard cutout. For some reason, they fucking nail a pizza to his mouth. But the best part about this was almost unnoticed by everyone in the room. Bam does a surprisingly rare, not often seen impression of Don Vito at this point, and he fucking nails it. It's a great impression. You constantly wonder, you're like, I can barely see how Bam Margera is related to Phil. I can barely see how Phil is related to Don Vito, but clearly they're all related. Don Vito is Bam's uncle. When he does that impression and you see his physiology change, you're like, oh my God, you had a couple 100 pounds and gray hair and a lazy eye. Like, I can see how Bam Margera could be a relative of Don Vito at this point.
Speaking of Don Vito, I was thinking about this like before we're doing a recording, and this is how I'm going to play it. Feel free to join me along on this philosophy if you guys choose. If you don't, I totally understand why.
I'll stay behind.
You know, we've been kind of not beaten up, rightfully so, whatever, on Don Vito, what he did, etc., etc. I feel like we've beat on a dead horse. We've hit it. I want to kind of, for the sake of our show and for the sake of going back and enjoying the show, I'm just gonna like try and pretend that wasn't the case and look at Don Vito the way that I did before any of this happened, because he is just such an integral part of the show and his stupidity in this, and we're going to be making fun of him in the process of it and laughing at him, laughing with him. So for me, I'm just going to like scrub that out of my mind for as much as I possibly can and just kind of take it for what it is. This is a show. This was a time capsule, and I just want to enjoy it for what it was, personally.
Yeah, I hear you on that. I think it's a good idea to get that out of the way up front. And, you know, it's going to come up where he does something or says something and it recontextualizes it. And I'm sure between Jay and myself, one of us will mention something about it. But I do know that our listeners think more along the lines of you, Chris. We get that a lot. You know, it's like, leave Don Vito alone. We don't care about his personal people. Because he's a man of the people. He's a man. It just turns out that maybe the
if
people
anybody ever said Chris
Aaronworth
was not a saint,
I don't know about saint.
I don't know how you forgive those deeds, but somehow he finds it in his heart to look through the folds, the dents, and all the imperfections.
He does
find something beautiful on the inside.
He does. Turn the other cheek, as they say, and Chris is definitely finding a way to do that with Don Vito. Yeah.
Hey, I got a question.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. You first.
I was just gonna say, like, you know, like you're sitting there, like, how often in life could a son be like, hey, Mom, Dad, I'm buying us a mansion and we're all going to live together. Just like happy old times. And at first, you know, like Ape at first is probably like, this is so nice. And then very quickly it pops in her head, this is going to be absolute fucking hell.
Miserable.
Like, imagine the fear and anxiety she would thinking, knowing she's got her crazy son who now has control and ultimate say on everything that goes on. She has to be there, part of it, with an MTV and an MTV budget pushing him to do the most ridiculous shit. This would fucking stress me the fuck out if I was Ape or Phil, for example.
I think Phil is a little bit better at it. I think Phil, I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading into it the way I want to, but as a kid, I thought Phil hated it. I thought Phil was just like, oh, fuck my kid. Oh, I can't deal with this numbskull. I think Phil's a great actor. I think Phil plays along really well. I think he
probably has so
knows-
much fun. It brings out his childhood.
He does. I think he was probably a rapscallion just like when he was a kid, just like Bam is now, and this is his opportunity to relive all that. I think that's definitely more of a, like, to him, that's just like, all right, let's go, like Jay said, let's go back to college. Like to him, he's just like, I'm going to live with the boys. I'm going to be one of the boys. I'm going to be famous as a result. I also think Ape has an element of that in her. I think she also, though, I think she struggles with it a little bit more, but she seems to have some fun with it too when you pay close attention.
So I know we said we were going to leave Don Vito alone, but I mean, if that guy needs a few extra body parts, go listen to last week's episode. Do you got to pay extra shipping on that? What do you guys think? It's like the shipping going to be extra on the bonus body parts for Vito, or
if he needs, I don't even remember last week's episode.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of that.
What did we say?
Okay, I'll take you back. in the time machine. Jump in. Okay, so we get back to when we were having a little discussion about Preston Lacey, and he's bending over. You know, the BBW. What did Chris call it? The extra butt that looks like a lady's chubby vagina.
That wasn't last week's episode. That was a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. But listen, we go back and we mentioned that, you know, there's body parts that get added on once you're over a certain weight threshold. I'm just wondering, Don Vito, he's got so many of these things. Someone's got to ship those out. The shipping's got to be extra. You know, forget it. They've got Amazon Prime. It's not a big deal. They want to move somewhere. They got what? Sorry?
Raab is on Prime. Raab's a movie
Jesus Christ. What? Fuck. Thank you. The destination is going to be a bigger place with less a-holes, according to Bam Margera. And the show now turns into Homewreckers with Ryan Dunn. We get the, shots of all the rooms. We're going through the house. It tell you how many bathrooms are in there, how many bedrooms, all your stuff. Ooh, look, guys, we found a hockey rink. So we stop and play some hockey for a while. I love the shot after they get out of the rink, the neighbors across the street looking through the bushes at them like a couple of scared ground squirrels. You know, Bam's coming in to steal all the nuts for the hibernation season.
I liked that part as well. I like the realism of it being like, well, I mean, you know, I doubt it's like, oh my God, this guy's going to be a rapscallion. It's like, oh, there's a whole fucking production crew going into this house. Who are these kids in the giant Hummer?
They dodged a fucking bullet, didn't they?
They dodged a fucking bullet. Yeah. 100%. I mean, the fact that, like, again, I talk about this all the time, but like going back and watching these shows as an adult, as opposed to like just a little kid that isn't thinking too much beyond the dumb shit that's happening in this sketch. I'm like, he goes to an open house. Bam does with his friends. They play hockey and he just fucking throws a lamp in the middle of it and breaks a lamp. I'm like, that's not your lamp. That's someone's
MTV
lamp.
Budget.
MTV would pay for
okay.
it. But it's just the idea of the audacity to do something like that. I'm like, man, that only a certain kind of person would have it in them to do that.
Well, Mikey, I think you missed the top of the show. Bam Margera, what will he do next?
Whatever the fuck he wants. I'm glad that's back because that was missing. That was missing from season 1. I missed that. Yeah.
You popped for that one a little bit?
I popped. I definitely popped.
I like
popping your asshole.
Hey, callback. We haven't used that in a while on the show.
I've been using that at work a lot lately for some reason.
That's good. You're the owner manager. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And you're using that at work?
Owner of a restaurant.
Yeah. Nice. Good stuff.
Don't worry. No one's finger popping the assholes and handling food. Just if they're working the front.
They're chicken finger popping each other's assholes.
Yeah. I was going to say you should change the name of the jalapeno poppers.
Yeah.
On the menu. So Don Vito comes home to the old house. Everybody's gone. And Vito encounters Vito. They pin the pizza. That's hard to say. The piece of pizza to his face, and he just starts eating it. He sits down on the stool. Like, he's in the middle of a dialogue, and it's just funny to watch him. So he's looking around the room, complaining to nobody. Spots the pizza, loses his train of thought, sits down, starts breathing heavily and eating the cold pizza.
Guys, run with me for a second. This is going to take you a little while to...
Okay.
To you know, it's going to be hard for you guys to get onto this.
It's also going to be hard for you to say,
this.
apparently. Let's go.
Think about, just for a few seconds, just for like an hour or two, how fucking pleasant it would be to be like Don Vito in his brain. He's so fucking simple-minded. There's literally only two things in the entire world that matter to him. Food and beer. He's walking in a house. Everybody's fucking gone. His whole life is shattered in front of him. He sees a picture of himself with inexplicably a piece of pizza nailed to it. Does not ask any questions, like, oh, piece of pizza. Grabs it, sits down, and just fucking enjoys his day. I'm fucking thinking about fights that I had in fucking grade 9. My 100%. Brain's constantly full of chatter. He's just so calm. He's kind of like Homer Simpson in an essence. You know, it's just what? Like, where the hell did everybody go? Ooh, a pizza.
It's so funny.
Pizza. You know, like
he's got that's such a good point. He's in a crossroads of two movies. He got Kevin McAllister, first of all. He walks in, he's fucking Home Alone. And then he sees this like fucking Jigsaw-esque cutout of himself with a pizza, like, or for the movie Seven, like he's the gluttony sin. It's like hammered to his fucking thing. A lot of people would be really fucking creeped out if that happened to them, and he just sits there and he's like, I guess I'll eat the pizza. I don't know. I'm just gonna sit here and eat the pizza.
And he looks so happy and so content.
He takes the one bite as though that's gonna be it, and he almost goes to put it down on the kitchen counter, and he's like, I'm not wasting this fucking pizza. I'm gonna sit here and eat it.
Chilling.
I got 100%. Totally.
Mikey, I gotta say, you're really mastering. You're coming into your own. You've got the jiggle down, like when you did the Vito impression there. Yeah, because that's a key component that I think a lot of people miss. You know?
It's great. Yeah,
it's like
I've
bowl
had
of
years
Jello.
of practice. Yeah.
But Bam's still on the house hunt here, and you know he's kind of like the client on House Hunters that the real estate agent shows him like 14 different houses. And he just always finds something bad about it. And at the end of the house, the couple sits down. They're like on the beach in Mexico, and they're having their Coronas, and they're like, "So which one do you think we should do? Should we do the strawberry fantasy house, or should we do the rigid log house?" And then he's just like, "You know what? Fuck it, Bam. You're out of choices. You like, there's no A, B, or C for Bam at this point. He said no to too many houses. But lo and behold, when they're just about to give up, they drive across a nice 18-acre lot. But Bam will not let the cameraman see. He wants to keep it a secret. So I can only assume at this point that this might just be Bam's little house on the prairie. Time to start a new life, so we are. Grow some potatoes. Milk the horses, so we will.
It's amazing though. Like I remember this house. We all remember this house really well. The inside and the outside
really?
of it.
I didn't, man. I the opposite.
Really?
No, fuck. Here's the thing that happened. When you get like a half glimpse when the cameraman starts to pan and he cock blocks you, right? I knew at that moment, okay, this is the castle. Now, okay, dead giveaway in the title of this episode, sure, whatever. But for some reason, I got it in my head that this was just like another fucking, let's build a skate park in the house type of thing, where it was one episode and they were going to have a castle and then you wouldn't see it again.
Really? Because to me, this is like in the top 3 most iconic homes of all time.
No, I know you guys are right.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air,
for some reason.
Bam's house, and fucking and Home Alone as well, the McAllister's house.
I was going to say the Simpsons house would have been another one too. Yeah.
For whatever reason, it was just wiped from my memory. And until I saw the house in full, I was like, oh, right. Okay, so now we're just going to live in a fucking castle from here on out.
Yeah,
and it kind of dawned on me, but yeah. Surprise.
So I was excited to see it build. So like Chris, and unlike you apparently, I had this like vicious memory, or like a very vivid memory in my head of what this place looked like. So it was very strange to see it pre all the additions made. And it's kind of weird that he chose this house. Unless he was just looking for bare bones out in the middle of nowhere because he knew he'd be able to do whatever he wanted with it.
I think that's what it comes down to.
The fact that it's a little bit of a castle as well.
A castle, yeah.
That's the gothic look that he's going for, right? Did you guys notice that when they were driving to this lot, Ryan Dunn looks out of his car and he sees a house and he says, "Look, it looks like a dumpster with shutters." And I couldn't help but think, like, if you were the family, like, "Oh, hey, Bam and his friends are driving through town today. Let's go watch their episode." And they just like just shots fired at your house. It's like my grandfather built that house. That dumpster with shutters. He had to pull all those shutters here by hand. You just feel like absolute garbage.
Their grandpa a fucking hobo or something? Jesus Christ. They gotta fix their fucking house. If Ryan Dunn's calling you out, we saw his MTV Cribs. He ain't into anything that special.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't he live in a fucking... Oh, no, that was Raab. He was living, like, between the drywall. Never mind.
Raab was parasiting Bam Margera.
Totally parasiting him. Oh, my God. Was he ever... Moving time, boys. The day has come. Bam is all set. He's in love with this new house. So let's get in there and start packing. And you guys, we all love a good set of bubble wrap at the end of the day. What better, what more fun to have than to wrap someone in it? And of course, Don Vito's always the guinea pig here. So they put this bubble wrap around him like he's just tight in there, but he's not putting up in a fight at all. Like classic Don Vito, not to give a shit. Until this is the thing with Don Vito. He'll let you do anything to him, but once you've done the thing, he'll just bitch about it endlessly until he's out of the thing. And it starts the minute
especially when other people start eating.
Oh,
exactly.
He reminds him. He's like, right, I'm going to need my hands for that.
They're like, lunchtime. He's like, no, lunchtime right now.
So they leave him on the trailer. Everyone goes in for soup. We get a couple Don Vito-isms here. He's yelling at nobody. They've closed the door. We get an A, a Gway, and a Yo. So there you go. So Don Vito.
It's a different language. You have to learn how to speak it.
Yeah.
I got to be honest, though, with you guys. There's something about the situation Vito's in there, the bubble wrap to the chair, that looks so cozy. I 100% want that done to me. I want to just be covered in bubble wrap, put on a lazy boy. I don't care. Put me on the back of a truck. I don't
just get stoned and go on a plane in between two fat chicks. It's basically the same thing.
Chris has already been there. I'm learning from the best.
And it was glorious.
By the way, at this point, Don Vito swears. I have the DVDs of Viva La Bam, so I've been watching on those. He swears. Were you guys watching like an MTV cut, or do you have the DVDs?
Is that surprising?
Is that the DVD that you mailed me direct today, so I was able to watch?
Yes, the DVD that I mailed you today that you were able to watch. Yes, yeah.
Yes, I just didn't notice that. I swear too much anyways.
The dude's always swearing, isn't he? Or did he say something
but
exceptional?
It's censored on MTV, right? There's no censoring on this one. Yeah.
So what did he say?
Fuck.
Oh.
Don't tell his mom, though.
Climactic. Yeah. Okay. All right. So
what did you want him to say?
I don't know.
Fuck? What did you expect?
Well, you built it up. Like I thought, it's got to be good, but it's fuck.
Not bad.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love fuck. It's just,
You sound like a caveman who's seen vagina for his first time. I love fuck. Oh.
Do you think we're going to get any of the other F words, being that this was back in 2004?
100%. I think we've already had that on Jackass before.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Get back in the house. We're going in the office with Phil and April here. We're going to fight over the old coupon folder. Yeah. We're going through the documents because, Phil's an accountant or something, we think. He's got this folder of like grocery store coupons, save 50 cents here, half off there. He's attached to this fucking folder though. And Ape wants to throw it out. He does not want to throw out. He's so attached to this thing that when Bam threatens to light it on fire, he gets up out of his chair. And Phil is more upset about Bam burning these coupons than he is when Bam just ruins his life in general. Like, Bam could have started 100%. Phil on fire, and his overall level of happiness probably would have been higher at that point.
Unless he had coupons in his pocket when he was lit on fire. Then that would really bum him out. But it's funny, like, Ape has her thing. She's like, this is my corner of the house that you're not allowed to go. I've got all my little china pots or the little teapots, whatever it is that she's got. Phil, we found his thing, and it's coupons for some reason.
I
but
hope
like,
we'll notice later on as it goes in that they've packed. When they were doing all the packing, they only packed Phil's like hamburger sewn on outfits.
Oh, I hope so. I didn't see any of those in this episode.
It's so funny. I was talking to a guy from work.
There's one.
There is.
Yeah.
Oh, I
you
missed
guys didn't notice that?
No,
I didn't. A guy from work, it's like, you think like we're the only people that like take this stuff and like, not the only people, but the people that listen to this. And he's like, man, did you ever watch that Viva La Bam show? The funniest thing was how they sewed all these hamburgers and they kept showing up in all these episodes. I was like, that's like pretty obscure for someone that hasn't watched the show since back then to still remember, because I didn't even notice that. To clarify,
maybe we have some new listeners. It was a long time ago that we did Viva La Bam season 1, but in I think the first episode, they take all of his dad's shirts, all of Phil's shirts, and they iron on these hamburger patches to them. And for the rest of the season, you just see him wearing shirts with hamburgers on them, and it's fucking hilarious. So we'll be on Burger Watch for season 2 for sure.
Yeah, good spot, Jay.
Always be on Burger Watch. Yeah, it'll come up in a little bit. I'll mention it to you guys when we see it. But at this point, we got to get on out of here. We got to start the truck up. Let's put this Elvis mask that we found on Vito and transport this king of cargo, shall we? What?
Honestly,
Fuck who?
honestly cute. Like very adorable.
It was really
in this.
cute.
Oh, I thought you said fuck you. Okay, yeah, it was cute.
Oh.
I agree. It's like, did I say something? Jesus. Look, you'd think you'd need to hire movers to move Vito. I mean, like, he's like a grand piano. I mean, like, imagine getting that up the stairs. You'd be damaging the foundation, drywall chips everywhere.
The thing is, you don't need to hire movers when you have Tim Glom on your side. There's not a single human being on this earth I would want more. If I'm remodeling, moving, just getting a fucking job done. He seems like the most efficient, best worker in the entire world.
Efficiency, indeed. You know what I feel like with Tim Glom is it's like we see him so much on the show and he does amazing things. Like you said, like he builds skate parks, he builds crazy designs, just anything you can want, he will build it for you.
Right.
But we never actually really see the building. It's kind of like he's like the David Blaine of building shit. It's like
now
he does not reveal his
skate
secrets.
park in there. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how he does this shit, but yeah, he does impress. So you got to have him on the crew.
The only time we've seen it is when Bam redoes his whole living room, his whole house as like skate ramps. You do see a lot that episode is about the process of building. So there is proof that he can do it at least.
Did he build the fucking shelter when they were on that nuclear island?
Yeah.
The nuclear island, and they remember everyone was hungover.
No, I think he was out there with them.
No, I think he had to go out to save them or something. Oh,
Wasn't he the guy that got the raft and floated away or some shit?
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Away.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that was him.
Because someone built like
I'm
a
out of here. I'm just
sketchy-
gonna build my way off this island. Fucking Minecraft.
floated
this shit.
away like 7 miles in the wrong direction. Yeah.
Oh shit! The current's taking me to the nuclear power plant.
So the chaos ensues in the house as we move more of Ape's stuff around, boxes getting broken, the valuables from that stupid, dumb girl room in her front entrance, china, porcelain, all of it. All of it is fair game. The guys don't care. I feel bad for Ape. She loves that shit.
Yeah.
These guys don't love that shit. And Bam says, hey, we go new house now. Mailbox gets a tow. We're off. You guys ever want to do something like that? Tie a rope to a mailbox and drive away?
Oh, 100%.
It's like a real small
I've always
town
wanted to play
hit
that
thing
mailbox
do.
baseball shit they do in like redneck movies.
Of
You know what I'm
course
talking
you
about?
would. Of course
It would
you
just
would.
be so fun and thrilling.
I think it would hurt a lot more than we realize. I think it would like
Oh,
hurt
yeah,
your
the shock
hurt
through
your
the-
hands. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm used to hitting dingers, so like I know that feeling
Used to
when the
hitting
ball
dingers.
comes off your bat. It definitely could ring a little bit.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah.
If I'm wearing a Blue
And
Jays jersey,
that's until you
hit
get
dingers
kicked
all
off.
day.
That's until you get kicked off the T-ball field. They say, hey, this is for grade school children only. Please,
It's
sir,
harder
when
on
you leave."
T-ball, Mikey. There's no momentum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's good to
Just
know.
imagine
It's good to
Chris
know.
ruining a bunch of grade school children's baseball game,
Fucking-
yelling at them.
I'd love to
pointing
just
in their
running
face and
the
laughing.
bases, the little mini catchers just staying there, just fucking run his ass over.
I remember I was
Cover the
playing.
plate.
I was playing baseball as a kid. I was on a team, and we were getting housed, just fucking annihilated. This team, all the little kids, we were in like kindergarten. All the little kids had those Oakleys that were like one lens, like they were just fucking dominating us. Of course. And at the end of the game, the umpire says, all right, guys, tie game. And then everyone leaves and everyone on our team's like, we tied them. I was like, we didn't fucking tie them. Go eat your orange slice, Craig.
Dude, you know what I
fucking
pictured
idiot. Are
all
you
the
not
kids
keeping
looking
score?
like? I pictured
What's
all
that?
the kids looking like PC Principal in South Park's little kids. Like, he's got all his PC babies, the PC
Oh,
babies,
no,
and they
I
all
don't-
got
I
all
don't-
those shades on.
I haven't
If you see-
I haven't
if-
seen that in a long
If-
time.
Google that, and that's exactly what those T-ball players. Also, your T-ball teams suck because you had mom as a coach, and I had dad on my team as a coach. Obviously, it makes sense.
Yeah, I think that explains a lot about the two
Yeah.
of us.
Yeah, there you go. That's fine. The origins. You only get this stuff on the podcast, people. So as they're driving down the highway with the mailbox, getting dragged on a rope behind the vehicle, I had a thought here. And I just mentioned like a couple minutes ago that this feels like a small town hick kind of thing to do. And I was going to say, so, I know you guys were going to jump on me and be like, ooh, goth cowboy. And I thought I'll one up you here and I'll just make fun of myself instead.
Okay.
So we did do this in a way. I remember we had one of those old tube TVs, the old wooden box style.
Oh yeah, the
ones.
CRTs, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we drove around on a country road with a pickup truck once with a rope and a TV tied behind it and just dragged that for a couple miles. That was actually surprisingly a lot of fun. I can't explain why. Maybe you're just getting all that like fucking teenage
Maybe
angst
that.
and fucking
Yeah, what
jizz
was your
that's pent up
goal?
out, Because you're so anxious. I don't know. There is no goal. You just want to see something break so you can feel good.
Fair. Yeah.
When you're 17, you know.
God, being young is so weird.
It is.
Isn't it no wonder why we fucking loved shows like this, though?
There you
Just
go.
the chaos. We needed that. We had no outlet for it.
No outlet whatsoever. And whatever, radioactive chemicals are in a TV tube, I probably got that shit all over me too. So who knows? Maybe I'll grow a new limb by the time I turn 40. Castle Bam is here. We get the big reveal, and it actually is a fucking castle now that we can see it in all of its glory. And like I said, guys, until I saw this, I had forgot, oh shit, he is moving in here. So here we go. It's real. It's setting in now. It's settling in for everybody on the crew too. The parents are actually surprisingly happy. I thought they would be a little bummed because it seems like Bam didn't really tell them or prep them for this, but here we go. We start checking out the rooms. Now, you guys, you've moved in somewhere. I'm sure you two are brothers, so you've moved to a new house and fought over who's going to get the best room, right? You've done this before.
Wasn't much of a fight. When it came to moving, Chris kind of got the first. He's older than me, so he always got the first pick. But going on vacation, getting to a hotel room or something like that, that was fair game. And like,
just for me and you, Coley always had to get the cot.
Oh, Coley got the cot.
For sure.
Coley's our sister, woman. Yeah. Here's the thing. Raab goes into the room and he calls in, we're going to video review on this, okay? Because I have a clear thought about this. I know the rules of claiming a room. You have to claim it.
You have to jump on the bed.
Not even jumping on the bed. At least be in.
You take a shit in the center of the room.
That's more of a Calgary thing, Jay.
You got to say, this is mine.
Say it. This is mine. You have to stake your claim.
You can't just go into a room and chill because you need are you going to take the risk? Are you going to run and check them all out and then try and get back to the original? Or are you going to see something you like and just stamp it?
There's that element. But here's you're right though, Chris. If there are two beds in a room, you need to sit on it and say, this one's mine. You need to get to it and do it. That's key. But if you're just looking at different rooms, I think Raab calls Ryan Dunn into the room. He says, hey, check this out. Look how cool this place is. And Ryan Dunn says, this is cool. This is my room now. And Raab's like, no, this is mine. And Ryan Dunn says, I called it. And the joke is almost supposed to be like he got the room stolen from him. No. If you hit a home run and you don't step on home plate, rounding the bases, it doesn't count as a home run. Right. Sure, you did 100%. The action, but you didn't bring it home, Raab. You didn't bring it home because of that.
I think he kind of did that as a purposeful self-sabotage, to be honest. He had a little nook, and I don't think he's ready for a big boy room.
That's true.
I think he just needs the comfort of in between the fucking walls, as Mikey said, parasiting in the house.
Right. If anything, he could go up the stairs to the little attic that was above that room, and he could live there.
That's what I thought was going to end up happening. Or guys, I was going to be he finds a dungeon or something, and then he sleeps in the Iron Maiden or something like that.
Right before this happens, there's a scene that you might want to splice into this, Mikey, because it was just MTV at its it's so epitomizing MTV at this time. They're just hey, CKY, Doom Mates. And they make this screaming noise, and I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah.
That's
when you got the split screen of Dunn's bum. He's
yes, exactly.
Bum.
Holy shit, man! Different
it's
time.
At that point, MTV was basically the video medium equivalent of shock jock radio in the morning. Here's Pipsqueak and Rockefeller in the morning, and it's toilet flush.
Oh my God. This is I was thinking about this morning. That's so funny that you bring up radio of all fucking things. I was, no joke. I was thinking about this morning.
Cuba Gooding Jr. movie radio?
Yes.
I didn't bring that up.
No, I wasn't thinking about that at all, but good movie. Listen, this morning I was thinking about this because I got fired from a radio station because I laughed at my manager when he told me that his old DJ name was the Hurricane. And he totally fired me out of spite, and I know it's because I laughed when he told me that, because it was a month later. And he
was
walked
probably
out
so
like a big
proud
man.
Of that name. That's the best part.
Oh, I know. That's the thing. He totally was, because when I laughed, it was one of those moments where you laugh and you think he was trying to tell you a joke, and then you look at him and he's just deadpan serious, and you have to stifle your laugh a little bit. Yeah, that's cool.
When you talk to him in meetings, did he talk to you like this, or was he like, well, Jay, I was actually
number two
Hurricane back in the day. Yeah, I've met some radio hosts and they talk like that in their personal life, and it's dude, drop the act. This is awkward.
Why did they even have to have that fucking act? Like, no one likes it. I guess back in the day, there was no such thing as TV, and they had to, like, differentiate themselves and be all wacky.
There's
like,
certain things.
Evolve the game. The game's got to evolve. That's the reason why radio's dead.
It's the same thing with like sports announcers, like hockey announcers, like, and Kasparowski goes in the corner, and everyone's like, yep, that's the voice that we need in this game where big, strong people hit each other in the head with a hockey puck. We need that nerd fucking telling us what's happening. You go into the stadium and you've got like programs, like
you got the baseball.
Why are you selling programs like that?
Oh shit, I fucked it up. I had it in my head so good. I was trying to think.
What was
my
yours?
Baseball one? I was you know, the guy. I tried to do it and it just didn't come out the way I had it in my brain perfectly because I watch a lot of baseball. But it's like, you want me to try it?
Yeah, 100%, Chris. I need you to try it at this point,
please.
Well, we got baseball on bat, bro.
Baseball on bat.
What are they saying?
Beers on tap.
I had to concentrate so hard I couldn't even think of it.
It's 2 up and 3 down.
No, that's not it. Too deep. But it's deep in like a nerd way. But anyways, I digress.
Okay. But it is, I agree to your original point, Chris. It is weird that there are certain voices that people put on and we just accept those. Like, that's how I need to consume my X, Y, or Z. If they're selling me beer, they have to say, ice cold beer here. Otherwise, I'm not gonna want that beer. Otherwise, I'm not even gonna know you have beer to sell in the first place.
Very true.
So back to the room. I guess we should get back to Viva La Bam. The whole time I'm thinking when they're arguing about the rooms was, wait, you guys get to live here now too? Why? And then Raab and Dunn are arguing, and then Raab just pops his head in. Hey, I get this one. I'm like, Raab? Him too? Why? It's not his house.
If you were friends with Bam at that point, would you want to live in that house with them?
1,000,000%.
At that age, yes.
Do you know how much fucking, like, it would just be a drug-drunk pussy fest with breaking things and doing whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah, true.
It would be annoying having Bam there, but, like, I've always been that kind of person that's, like, I get mischievous with the person that's going to be mischievous. And so I assert my dominance by showing how far I'm willing to go to fuck with other people. So they don't really want to cross me either.
That sounds healthy. Yeah.
Well, it's worked out very well. Like me and my buddy Marcos, we've pranked people. He's an annoying pranker, but he just knows not to fuck with me and I know not to fuck with him. So we just team up and it works well. So I think me and Bam would get along well like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like
Chris, you mentioned
Deadpool and Wolverine of your times.
There you go. Good comparison. Chris, you mentioned it would be like a puss fest, and I just got to give you credit for a second. Quick side note here. You introduced me to a term, which I just love, by the way, and keeps coming up for like daily usage, and that is wizard sleeves, just pounding wizard sleeves. I got to say, that's some genius level shit. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah. I wish I came up with it, but it's just one of those ones when I heard it, I'm like, this is in my vocabulary now. It's fucking perfect.
Oh, it's great. I love it. It just rolls off the tongue. You know, and it's a great visual thing too. Like it really gets you
perfect
thinking.
Visual.
I think that's from I Love You Man, right?
I don't know.
Maybe.
I keep thinking it's from Workaholics because they had the wizard rap group, motherfucking wizards never die. You ever see that?
Yeah.
But I think it was before then, to be honest.
You know, when you go to a bar and you order like a sleeve of like you know, Budweiser or something.
Nope.
No, I swear I've heard someone use that term before.
I like the sound of it. It sounds fucking appealing, but what does a sleeve come in? Like a 6-pack?
I swear I've heard a guy say that before, but not a personal thing I go out using, but I'm just saying they should just change that to wizard sleeve. That's just all I wanted to say. I think
just a fucking old chick just comes out, just spreads her legs and 18 beers drop out.
Yeah. Why not?
And she looks and she says, I put 24 up there last night.
Hey-oh. Listen, guys, so we've got Rooster Lobster kitchen wallpaper here. You know, you guys wanted to open the show on the abortion debate, and I gotta say, we all know which side Ape is on, I think, when she says, if you were somebody else's kid, I would kill you.
Yeah. It's a very, I liked that saying. It was kind of like a weird, circular logic kind of thing. Like she says, you're lucky you're my kid, because if you were someone else's kid, I'd kill you. but it's like he is therefore. Yeah, I found that funny. It was a moment where April kind of got her shot in.
Your
there.
brain must suck, man. You say that you found that funny working out these like logical debates, like X equals B but doesn't equal C. So funny.
Chris is more of a
syllogisms can be exciting.
Yeah. Chris is more of a slice of pizza with a nail through it kind of guy.
100%.
So,
the one thing we haven't mentioned as they're touring through this house, Dico's got a new fashion sense. You notice anything different about Dico in this episode?
No, I didn't notice.
You didn't notice his sunglasses?
No.
Looks like he's about to offer you a red pill or a blue pill. He's got like the Morpheus sunglasses on. It looks so fucking stupid.
It was the time, man. It was the style. I bet.
Was it like
Matrix
more like
Reloaded
Morpheus or
just
more like Natural Born Killers?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, or it's kind of like Morpheus plus Neo equals Dico. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how you say that's not cool, man. That sounds fucking awesome.
Did it have the arms on it, or were they the like the fucking armless kind that just pinch around the nose?
Sticks right to the nose. Yeah.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah.
Got to get some double-sided tape for those bad boys. Listen, I like the wallpaper color, says April. No compromises, says Bam. This time, it's my way. Because it's the year 2000. And Abe says, I like it though. But Bam, just channeling his inner Durst again, says, it's my way. I guess Bam wants to get his way. Because Ape, I don't know if you know this or not, but it's his way or it's the highway. So you got to make up your mind. Also, by the way,
is quite a drive away.
Yeah,
right. This is a remote area.
Greatest wrestling promo package of all time. By the way, I don't like Limp Bizkit, but you guys know the one I'm talking about.
I went to WrestleMania.
Yeah, The Rock and Stone Cold.
Oh my god, I remember that,
baby.
I don't remember that one.
That's some shit. Go find that on YouTube. WrestleMania 17, I want to say.
17 or 18.
Art. Chef's kiss.
Almost old enough for Don Vito. Or young enough for Don Vito.
just about. Getting close. Guess what? Brother Jess is here from touring with CKY to surprise everybody. And it's not long before he invites the crew out to Amsterdam for a show. Right in the middle of moving, too.
Can you imagine a better fucking turnaround on a day? Literally, everybody knows the worst thing in the world is fucking moving.
Yeah.
You just got to the thing, you got to fucking lift shit, put shit all aside, and you go from moving and knowing you're going to have a shitty day to fucking going to Amsterdam and having everybody else do the work for you.
Yeah.
That is the single greatest turnaround a day could ever have in your entire life. Like that, I was just so envious of that moment.
It is, and everyone's like, Bam, you're such a dick for leaving this to your parents, and you wonder how much the MTV crew did and how much.
That's why
100%. But like, even still, no, not all.
She
of it,
still had to put stuff away and like.
That's the thing.
Like,
when it comes down to it, I had this thought because they have a whole montage where I think everyone who's watching it knows that they didn't do the bulk of the moving in or out, but they do have a few scenes which occur from sunrise or like when it's light out to when it's dark out, where Ape and Phil are moving things, and it's like, sure, you can fake it, but you still have to actually do that work. And it reminded me, there's the show I watched recently called Blackbird, and there's a scene where there was a riot in a prison in the kitchen area, and there's a time lapse where the guards make all the prisoners clean it all up, and you're watching this time lapse and it's a filthy fucking scene, and the actors are in there cleaning up. They had a full day on set where all they had to do was like clean up a fucking kitchen, and like, you can't fake it. It wasn't CGI. The Transformers didn't come in and do it for them. Like the actors had to do it. The highest paid cleaning staff on the planet for that day, I bet.
That's so fucking true. I didn't even think about that. Like, that's so funny. Yeah. That was a great fucking episode of that show too. Holy fuck. That's when it really started opening up.
A great show. Great show.
So speaking of like moving though and cleaning and unpacking, am I the only April here? Like I agree with Chris. Moving does kind of suck a big bag of dicks, but I kind of like the unpacking part when you move somewhere new and setting shit up.
The unpacking I like.
It's
the
nice.
Unpacking is good.
Cathartic.
But getting the boxes to and from, packing in sucks. The ability to have everything in one central area and be like, I'm about to organize my life, and it's never going to be more organized than it will be a day from now. I like that.
That's at the end of the moving day when you've already busted your ass off. All you want to do is sit back on the couch, get your TV set up, and just kind of chill out. And then you got to fucking do all that. I'm like,
you're doing it wrong. You unpack the TV. You use the boxes as a footrest. You unpack a pack of beer. You do the rest of it tomorrow.
Jesus
saves
us all.
True. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Mikey's got the right idea. Yeah,
Damn right
that's
I
how
do.
you do it, man. I can't count the amount of times I've moved, but that scenario has happened just about every time. Just sitting in a pile of boxes on your couch, watching TV, eating pizza. It's beautiful.
If you're anything like me, those piles of boxes become your permanent couch.
I was going to say, I've never moved into a place and had a couch right away. It's always taken like fucking.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'll buy a couch. And then you go and they're like, oh, it's the month shipping. You're like, what the fuck am I supposed to do now? I've always had my internet pre-set up before I go in though. So I can watch TV
idea.
that first day.
Yeah.
Just dumping your dirty dishes in a box, closing it up, pretending it's not there.
Yeah.
Speaking
Like
of
that.
euphemisms,
Yeah.
dumping a dirty
sure.
dish in your box. I mean,
Ooh. Yeah, baby.
call it a wizard sleeve.
How
why
much
don't
do you guys
Listen,
think of this move-in process? Like the
What do you mean?
items and everything was covered by MTV.
All
Like
of it.
in a
Oh, like-
percentage-wise,
okay.
what would be your guess?
All of it. 100%. All of
Well,
it.
if they're doing it for
What
the
about
show,
the house
yeah.
purchase?
Probably
That's
not
a
all
good
of it.
question.
Do you think they might have said, okay, this is your house, 51-49 ownership, or do you think that's part of the deal of the show?
Very good question.
yeah.
I'd love to know that. And look, I should say this now. I've mentioned the Discord a few times that I'm a part of. I was invited to. I'm a part of a few different Discord servers, but I want to shout out one specifically. I asked for their permission to do it because I've had a few listeners reach out and ask for links to this Discord server. It's private, so I wanted to confirm with the mods that I'd be allowed to do it. It's called the Jackass Vault. If you're interested in joining it,
Oh, I'm in that.
are you?
Yeah.
Either way. I didn't know you got an invite to it.
I didn't have to get invited. They fucking saw me and they just let me in.
That's what an invite is called. But it's called the Jackass Vault. If you're out there and you're listening, I legitimately have never seen so many very well educated people as pertains to Jackass and Viva La Bam and CKY. In that I've been allowed to let some people in if you want to reach out, but I'm making it a thing where I only want people and they only want people who are very committed to Jackass. So I'm not going to post it in the episode notes. If you're interested, email us at jackasspod@gmail.com. Let us know that you're interested, and then we'll give you a link there, but you still have to be on your best behavior. Anyway, the reason that I brought that up is because why did I bring that up? What was it that you just said? Oh, right. Because you talked about the split that they would have had between BAM and MTV for the house. Someone in there, I can almost guarantee, has an answer to that question. So I'd be curious to put it to them.
Yeah, Chris, I appreciate that you went with the old 49-51 split. I see you've been watching your Shark Tank. Boy.
Yep.
Never go for a 50-50.
No. You need to have
Doesn't
that
work.
leverage.
Especially if you're going with the bald guy. You can't trust the bald guy. What's his name?
Kevin O'Leary.
Kevin
Yeah, because
O'Leary?
he'll allegedly not hit
Drink drive his boat.
drive his boat while drunk and kill someone. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
not
That guy
do
has a
that.
lot. That guy has a lot.
As
of
if a
money.
guy
I mean,
with that much of a
hey,
control freak would let his wife drive the fucking boat.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
that's the big question. Yeah. But yeah, no, moving on. I'll put the question if they get back to me on that. That I'll let you know. We get that little montage though in Amsterdam. I agree with you,
Yes.
Chris. That looks like a ton of fucking fun.
And when they're there, in Amsterdam, it's like the tour is over in like 2.5 minutes because MTV, you got to truncate that shit
Yes.
for TV. So it goes by really fast. But while they're out there partying in the mosh pit and shit, we get like these separate window. It's like a picture in picture here, and apes like drawing flowers on the wall and shit and painting the house. And there is a little interstitial that I don't want to miss here. Well, while this is happening, they've got Vito on the trailer still, and they go through a drive-through.
Yes.
So they, I forget his name. Tim orders
Tim
something,
Blum.
and the guy asks him, "Is that all?" No, hold on a sec. They pull up with the trailer to the window, and Vito, he's been thinking about his orders since they saw the fucking restaurant. Let's be honest, because the minute he puts the vehicle in park, he's already ordering 2
Ready to
cheesesteaks
go.
and a whole pizza. And I'm just wondering, how the fuck are you going to eat that? A, on the back of a moving trailer, and B, while your hands are bubble wrapped around yourself
With
He
sweet and
clearly didn't
spicy
think this
sauce
through.
on everything.
extra sweet and spicy on
sauce
everything.
on everything.
How are you going to eat that though, Jay? Easy question. Doesn't matter. Staple it to a fucking cardboard cutout of himself. He'll find a way to eat it, even if it's 2 days later. Doesn't matter to him. He'll consume it. He's like a fucking stray dog.
Yeah,
They just he's like a great white shark. You'll find a license plate in his stomach when you give him an autopsy at the end. Like that guy will eat fucking anything.
Maybe they
Even
were,
his
you know, they
toenail.
could.
Even
Yeah.
his toenail.
I was gonna say maybe they could tie the order to the back of the trailer on a rope, and he could just watch it. You know, just like a carrot on a stick kind of deal as they
That would
drive
piss
down
him
the
off.
street.
That would piss him off a lot.
Listen, Phil rips his cheeseburger pants. I can't believe you guys missed this because he bends over when they're carrying stuff in, and there's a clear shot on the right bum cheek, right buttocks, people. You're going to have to enhance that. You can see the cheeseburger stitched onto the back of the jeans there. So I guess it wasn't only the pants. They did other types of clothing. There you go. Did you guys catch when he proceeds to carry their living room couch through a giant puddle in the front yard? Jesus Christ, Phil, lift.
Well, he does. He lifts the whole fucking thing.
He does.
He goes from
But
being
prior
like,
to that,
yeah.
that's going to be a moldy situation later on.
Yeah,
I'm saying.
I don't
Throw that
see. This
shit
is
out.
why I think they were never intending to keep any of this shit. They knew it was going to be a flat remodel.
They purposely remodeled it, and like this was the most staged part of this show, in my opinion, for sure. There's no way Abe would think it was a good idea to paint it. What was the color he said specifically? Like
French
fucking
vanilla.
daffodil. French vanilla or some shit. Not a chance. They needed this to happen so Bam could fuck shit up because he could do whatever the fuck he wants. That's the whole
and
theme.
they do. When they get back, they open up the big window that leads nowhere. That was the craziest thing ever. It's just a drop. You open the window and it just drops, and it's like 2 stories up. It's
one of those fucking guys is gonna get drunk and just fucking like, I'm gonna go outside, have a smoke, and just fucking eat shit.
Totally. Oh fuck.
Between that and the spiral staircase, how many people do you think lost limbs at staying at Castle Bam?
Spiral staircases they're not as sketchy as you think. It's like a little birdcage.
But this one's going up all this. Did you see this one? It's on the outside of wall, built in like scaffolding, and they're just like firewood logs stuck into the the stone.
That's a little.
And there's
sketchy.
nothing preventing them from coming. Like people absolutely fell down that thing.
I'm still just trying to figure out how the spiral staircase being like a bird cage is somehow less safe or more safe.
Well, I think it's kind of like in one of those like Rube Goldberg machines that Mikey always talks about. Like I feel like you would just be like a little pebble and just be like, like I feel like you become
roll all the way
part
down.
of the contraption and you just gently, roll down.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. You're on a track basically. It's like a roller coaster at that point.
All right, gold rhubarb, settle down over there. Listen, shit just, Bam's not happy. Bam no likey what Ape did here. So yes, he does destroy. He destroys the drapes. He upends the upholstery. He puts an end to the end tables. Hey guys, let's have a bonfire. So we'll set that shit on fire and that's it. Like it's gone. It's done. They're gonna do what they want to do, which is why Seth, the interior design guy, is here. And he's got 2 words for you. Chris, what are those 2 words?
Gothic.
First of all, that's one
I know
word.
he said more than 2 words. He said like 7 words. I just couldn't think.
It's fine.
Like he said, like it's time to get it done, get things done, or something like that, didn't he?
Something like that.
Something like that. I hated this guy's vibe, by the way. I hated this guy's vibe.
Yeah, he didn't care.
Like, too
he wasn't
cool for
committed to the bit. Yeah.
No, but he was trying to seem like he didn't care. And he was just like I don't fucking care. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. I hate that vibe so much. It pisses me
He
off.
just turned into Louis C.K. right there for a minute.
He kind of did actually.
A little bit. I can see that actually.
That's
like Louis C.K. talking about a hipster in a coffee shop.
yeah,
basically.
exactly.
Yeah.
There's a moment here though, at the bonfire. Because the whole episode, I was very distracted by something about Bam Margera, and at one point he goes to the camera and he's like, "Oh, first they were in there, we moved them, and now we're burning them and eating marshmallows." And he goes and takes a bite out of the marshmallow. It's still on fire. It's fully on fire when he puts it into his mouth. And I realized that's how he got his facial hair, because he had a goatee probably. When he ate a flaming marshmallow, it lit up the mustache portion of it, and then he just had that little chin thing that it's just clinging on for dear life. That little chin thing dangling and that explains it.
Huh. honestly
Origin
probably what
stories.
happened. Every single time I change my facial hair or hair, it's because of something stupid like that.
Because of a mistake.
Like I'm like cutting my
roll
hair and I'm like,
yourself
I'm going to trim my beard, and then vroom, and I'm like, oh, motherfucker, now I got to get rid of. And I try to fix this part, and then this doesn't happen. It's not even like I have a proper beard anyways, but I just don't understand how to groom a beard.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. I have a day set aside to do my grooming.
Is it still
every
Thursdays?
week. It's still Thursdays. It's still Thursdays.
Thursdays was
Oh,
Mikey's
that's why we
grooming
can't
day.
record on Thursdays.
That's why we can't record.
Mikey, for my whole life, Mikey, like at like 7:30 o'clock on Thursdays, he'd go take a shower and he'd be in the washroom for like 2 hours, like doing everything, like and he comes out and that was his grooming day.
That was my grooming day. Yep.
Is-
Got to get it all done in one day.
Just knocking on the door. Son, what are you doing in there? Nothing. Don't
Leave me
come
alone,
in.
Dad.
Don't come
Leave me
in.
alone.
Coming in.
Yeah, I would have
shaving
been more
his
proud
legs.
of him. He was actually fucking jerking off and being a man opposed to fucking girlifying his body.
Girlifying my body. I'm trimming
Yeah,
my
all right.
mustache. What
Hey,
girls
you-
are you dating?
You got to have some great aerodynamics for the pool, my boy. Less
That's
hair,
true.
more
And
speed. You know how it goes. Just ask Phelps. He'll tell you.
I'll ask him.
Okay. Thank you.
You're talking about
Tell him I
Fred
said
Phelps,
hi.
right?
Yeah, sure. Who's that?
The leader of the what's that like evangelical Christian church?
Oh, God. Yeah, I hope that's
yeah,
what I'm
he's
talking about.
All around shithead. Yeah.
I bet he shaves his ass.
Oh yeah. Oh, he has the altar boys do it for him for sure.
I don't know. I think
Maybe he
that's so
knows
funny.
Don
That was a
Vito.
little too
Listen, yeah. We got to get back into this. Yeah, it feels like a stretch to finish this one. I feel like the episode had good momentum, but let's just put it to bed now. I think we've kind of done all we can in the castle. Let's see the grand reveal and send her home, shall we? So we get the after. It's purple in there, purple as fuck, heartograms and everywhere. You know, it's leather couches, black, purples. You know, it's Bam Margera. Like
fucking
he
love
seems
it.
to love the color purple for some reason.
Oh yeah,
That's very much
My
in
favorite
his.
It was a great movie. I mean, no
Rad.
one expected Oprah Winfrey to
Oh,
like
geez.
really come with the acting chops. The color purple.
Yeah, I
What are
don't
we
know.
talking
I love
about
it.
here?
I more
Oprah
expected her
Winfrey.
to come with the pork chops, but I don't know. I
Uh,
don't know about you
Ooh.
guys.
Jay,
Ooh, oh, Jay's a bad boy. He shouldn't have said that one.
bad boy.
Someone's gonna be upset.
No gifts for you underneath
this
your seat.
Oh, Jesus. I'm so close too.
Jay reaches under his seat. It's just a note that says you've been canceled. He's like, "Fuck, I knew it was going to happen." This portion of the episode was like straight dopamine. The before and after. It's like this is why home reno shows work, and we got that in this. And it like I agree, it looked fucking sick. Like I don't know if I'd want to live there, but Jesus Christ, when you see Bam sitting in those like those leather couches that are 7 sizes too big, it's like consuming him. And he's just like sitting there talking. And he's like, "You guys hate it," but like he doesn't care. He's like, "This is the perfect fucking thing for me." Like, man,
I
I'd
would
like to spend
to
some
be
time
like
there.
party at there, but I couldn't live there because honestly, at
No.
nighttime, ghouls would come around for sure. Like there would definitely be ghouls and ghosts.
100%.
Like,
But
there's-
no, like guess where they're gonna hide too? In that fucking suit of armor. You're asking
Oh,
for
yeah.
hauntings when
For
you have
sure.
an empty suit of armor in your
That's
place.
a real
No,
Scooby Doo
yeah.
situation right there.
It's exactly.
That's a very good point.
Man. So Castle Bam is complete, and hey, you're in Bam's world. So cue that cool theme music. Let's take this away, shall we?
The only thing I wanted to say real quick was the Saran wrap prank.
Yeah, we're
Because
getting there. We're
the-
getting there, baby.
Oh, I thought you said take it away like we're fucking
no, you
ending the show.
You take it away. Saran wrap it. Saran wrap it. Wrap this shit up, will you?
So yeah, I know they go through and they Saran wrap their buddy who's sleeping, which as you're going, you're hearing the thing going and you're like, no one would fucking sleep through that. That's loud. But
That is loud.
I hopefully have a treat for our Instagram account because a buddy of mine on his stag, they're some of my British friends, they fuck with each other. Like that's the point of a stag is to really fuck with your friend. And one day they Saran wrapped the fuck out of him on his bed, flipped it upside down exactly like they did in this, and just went to the bar and came back like hours later. And he was like, "Are you fucking serious?" And they have a video of it. And I sent him a message. I'm like, "Can you please send me that video? I want to post it on my Instagram." So hopefully he's a good sport and we get a sick fucking video because it is
Oh, that'd
so
be
fucking
awesome.
funny, man.
Yeah, I've already seen it in the episode, yet strangely, I want to see it again. So if you can get that
This
video,
is
that'd be
way
great.
better than the episode.
I'm thinking too, like, I love how Dunn handles this because they flip it over. He's so tight to the mattress that he's got a mattress on top of him. He's like, he can't move. He can't get out of there. So there's a point
Because they
where he
literally
says, fuck
flip
it.
the bed upside down.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
he's on the bottom at this point.
It's
yeah.
a Dunn sandwich. Yeah. And he just says, fuck it, I'm going back to sleep. And I kind of thought for a minute, how funny would that have been if he just did go back to sleep like that, you know? But he starts yelling at the guys as they walk all over him, and that takes us to the end of the episode. But I gotta say, yeah, good little prank for the end. It was funny.
It is a good little prank. Here's the one thing, because I had that feeling, when Don Vito was all wrapped up, and I'm like, oh, that looks pretty comfy. I had the same feeling about being Saran wrapped and like having the bed on top of you. I was like, that looks super comfy.
So much anxiety.
That's the thing is when he tries to, you realize, because he's like, I'll just go back to sleep. And I guarantee you what happened is he tried to move his arms and he realized he couldn't. That I still feel claustrophobic thinking about that right now. Like that would be terrifying.
I'm very claustrophobic, and that's why when they that's what my buddy Raab did. He just went back to sleep because he was drunk. But or I shouldn't have said his name, but whatever, it is what it is. There's a lot of
you said his fucking last name and the city he's from in an earlier episode. You tried to. I had to bleep it out.
Oh, well, fuck him. He deserves some fucking. I'll give it his fucking phone number. People could call him and prank his ass. He used to do that to my restaurant all the time. Fucking piece of shit.
That's amazing. That's actually amazing.
Yeah, I just get way too much claustrophobia. It freaks me out.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. And Mikey, I could see that being even worse with gloves on too, you really can.
And his
really
mask, he couldn't even open up his eyes. He couldn't see what's going on because he has a sleeping mask on.
I'd have my mask on. I'd have my earplugs in. My little gloves and socks. That'd be fucking miserable.
You'd only have taste, touch, and smell to rely on at that point. And
that's
your own
true.
Thoughts.
Well,
Possibly
I also
the worst sense
I
of
could
all.
also see ghosts because I do have a sixth sense as well. Which, by the way, it's not a sixth sense. You can. What are the five senses? You can see, you can taste, you can smell, you can hear, you can touch. And the sixth sense is that you can see No, that's 5.5 senses maximum.
That's a fucking valid point. We need a petition to change that movie's name.
We should.
And make him not be a ghost at the end. So we can rewatch it again. Because it kind of ruins the whole movie. It was a great movie. You can only watch it once, though.
He is, yeah.
Imagine if that movie came out these days. It would be all over TikTok day one. That would be a fucking meme, and you would never fucking get to enjoy that movie the way that we did when you didn't know that was going on.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the first movie where Bruce Willis went like full, bald head?
No, he was bald head. Die Hard.
No, I think
he wasn't.
He still had a little bit.
Die Hard 1, he definitely had hair. I don't know what the first one would be, but I don't think it would have been Sixth Sense. Yeah.
God, that guy's
maybe The Jackal.
Ooh, that's a great movie.
Yeah,
but he had like wigs and shit in that a lot of the time.
True, he did.
Oh,
what about MVPs, LVPs? You guys want to get into that? We're at the end of the episode now.
Yeah,
Chris,
sure.
you look like a deer in headlights. Why don't you lead us off?
My MVP is going to be Jesse Margera for saving the fucking goddamn day and making them not have to fucking pack up and get a trip to Amsterdam instead. He would be my fucking hero if that happened, so he's my MVP.
Yeah, maybe the LVP for Ape, but not for Bam and Friends. Definitely. Jay, what about you?
It's tough. Yeah, this is tough. I don't know. I don't have like a quick answer. I wasn't prepared this time. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go with Phil because I've never seen a grown man love an envelope full of coupons as much as he did. But I feel like he would have sold his own child just to save 50 cents on Lunchables. So Phil, this one's for you, buddy.
That's a good one. I'm going to say, and by the way, when they were burning the thing, like he's been pissed off for about 10 minutes when they're trying to burn his folder of coupons. And finally he's like, but there's like $30 of coupons in there. It's literally $30. Like I'm sure no one wants to lose $30, but yeah, anyway, that's a nice one. My MVP is going to be the one and only Tim Glom. Just call him. I want him on speed dial. I want him around for everything I got to do. Guy does the heavy lifting, doesn't ask to be in front of the camera all that much, but the fucking amount of work that he does, I want him to be in my corner.
Yeah, my LVP is Raab for not understanding how to properly call a room and relegating himself back into the fucking rafters.
That's a good one. I like that a lot.
I'm on fucking fire for a deer in the headlights, dog.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Jay, what about you?
I'm going with Don Vito's digestive flora on this one. Because I don't know about you, but if I just see like a piece of pizza chilling on a nail, I'm probably not going to eat that.
The fact that Don Vito is willing to eat a piece of pizza on a nail means you could like legitimately mousetrap him if you wanted to.
Or
like
just
you
tie something to a fishing string.
Yes, yeah, you can do that
on the
too.
ground. Exciting.
Yeah. You'd
I
follow,
also-
You could
follow
mousetrap.
that to the
I
ends
get
of
what
the
you're saying, like the game where you friggin'
yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have enough time. You he starts to eat the pizza, you flick a marble, 10 minutes later, a giant cage falls in over his head.
He just looks up and he's like, oh, I still got my food.
I'm
That takes
LVP for me is going to be Bam's old neighbors because look, I bet you their lives got so much more boring ever since he left. And here's the shitty thing about it. They probably loved that. And that means that they are boring human beings. They are the LVP. Leave them to their own little tight-knit neighborhood in all their boredom and their fucking parties on a Sunday where they gossip about everyone else in the neighborhood. I bet you they're all shitty people.
I feel that one, Mikey. I feel that.
There's probably a little part of them though that's like, God, I wish we didn't let those kids go. But they won't
True.
admit it. They'll never
Some
say
of
it
them,
out loud.
some of them at least, for sure.
They're like up at night looking at the ceiling, watching the fan spin, just thinking, what could life have been if only? And we'll never know. But you know what we will know? What happens in part 2, because you've guessed it. We're actually sticking on this time, and we're going to do the whole season 2 of Viva La Bam all in one shot for you. So expect more next week. It's been good to come back to see what Bam's up to.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Yep.
You know,
I was
I've always
pleasantly
said,
surprised. I enjoyed it.
It's
I
fun,
like
it's
giving
quick, it's efficient. It just gives me that vibe that I'm looking for in my life right now.
it's a dopamine hit. I love it.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I've always said, guys, like, I'm not a huge fan of the presentation and it feels dated, but like, there's something about it. Even I have to admit that it's not my favorite show, but it just feels nice to have something familiar, you know? Because I can't count the amount of times this show was just on repeat at our house. We had all the
100%.
DVD box sets, you know? So yeah, it'll be fun to go through it again. Until next week, though, don't forget that you can find us in the meantime at Jackass Pod on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok as well. If you want to come and say hi, let us know how you're doing. And don't forget to send Mikey a picture of your taint and scrotum or your lady parts, whatever you got. And he might let you into that super special Discord group so you can, be on
Would
your
you
best
like it?
behavior.
And also, if you're out there and you have another Discord server, either that I'm already a part of or not, let us know. Love to check it out, poke around a little bit. Again, we started this podcast because we love talking about Jackass. We love Jackass. We love the whole community around it. And it's nice to find like-minded people.
I agree. All right. That pretty much does it for us, though, guys. It's been fun. I look forward to next week when we get to do it all again. But until then, bye. I'm Jason Wellwood.
Bye. I'm Chris Aaronworth.
Bye, I'm Mikey Aaronworth, and this has been Jackass.
Furnished by Sad Styles Productions.
Get into it!